Okay, we're going to continue another 10 minutes in Sichos Haran. So we're holding by Lamed 30. Yeah, continuing. So this one, just a little preface, talk about areas of, how to be, let me jump in, but keep in mind, this is after 29, which was, the previous one. And there he spoke about how we have to learn Shulchan Aruch, okay? So if someone learns Shulchan Aruch, they'll be able to understand what he's talking about. So I'm going to jump in. He starts the following. He says, Alam avalim zaman bishvil nekiyas imarichim bebeis hakisei. He says, in regards to those who, before davening, they spend a lot of time, in the basic kisei, in the bathroom, because there's halach in Shulchan Aruch that you can't daven if you have to go to the bathroom. So Nachman is going, those that spend extra time to try to make sure that they have a gif noki. Again, this you have to know Shulchan Aruch for this. You have to know halachas of before davening. So he explains hikpid ma'oid. He says Rav Nosson say hikpid ma'oid. He very very much he didn't like it. He was makbid. This loitzites ma'oisan hanoshim ma'oid, and his loitzites means he ridiculed those people. The herach harbe be'inyan zeh, and he stressed a lot in this area. Okay, continuing. Okay, he says the following. He says v'aklol. He says the general thing is, he says the Torah l'malachei hasharis. This is coming from Chazal, that the Torah was not given to malachei hasharis, right? Continuing, he says, "Ve'in tzarich lahachmer," and he says, you don't have to be machmer. Listen to this: yoser min adin, not more than the din. So you have to know Shulchan Aruch to know the din. Okay. Now he's going to tell you this is the din. Ready? Al pi adin, he says, al pi adin, ha'isser hi rak. This is the isser. He says only kishen tzarich len kavav mamash k'mo shekosav b'gamar. When you feel mamash now, you have to go to the bathroom. He says that's the din, right? And he brings it out from the Gemara, an nitzrach l'nekavav al yispal. He says an nitzrach daika. He says when you feel you have to go right now, then you can't daven. But he emphasizes an nitzrach daika. Okay. Now I just want to give a preface. This is Torah. This is real Torah, meaning to say this halacha. And Reb Nachman is giving us eitzes. He's talking to us, okay? Especially when we don't know halacha, and we hear about a halacha of, you can't daven if, you don't have a gift noki, and, we get so confused, we try to, be machmer, so he's addressing us over here, okay? But anyway. He says, now because Rav Nachman, as we will soon see, and Baruch Hashem, what we know is Rav Nachman was a tzaddik emes, kol Torah kula, backwards, forwards. Okay, he's guarding us. Okay, he's telling us the following. He says, and he's telling you even further in halacha. He says, even if a person really needs right now to go, right? He says, yesh gam kein dinim bezeh. He says there are dinim that b'di eved and b'shas atchak, which means if you had to do it or you're under pressure. He says there's different dinim. He's telling you where to look, and he says ayin sham b'magen avram, which is the commentary on the Shulchan Aruch, right? She'erif. Listen to this. He says she'erif. Right, the Magen Avraham brings that the Rif, one of the Rishonim, right? Mata lechatchila, he says, he actually says, lechatchila, a person can daven, even if he has to go to the bathroom. V'yochel lamed atme at parsa. V'chili, if a person knows that he can actually wait one parsa, right? Exactly how much a parsa is, I'm not sure right now. But basically, he's showing us that there, even in halacha, there is what to rely on, that even when your mamash have to go. Continuing. He says, Nimtza, he says, comes out, Shakal Punim, he says that at least, She'enit Tzorach Linkov of mamash, that when a person, mamash right now doesn't feel he has to go, Ein Tzorach Lahachmer, he says, you don't have to be Machmer, Elevatal Atzma, mit Torah, Tefillah, to waste time from Torah, Tefillah, Bechinam, for no reason, Machmas Chashoshes, Vechimers, Yisaris, B'Shagoyim, Ba'olma, because of Chashash, and extra chirmas, and, things that, just because you don't know about, okay? Anyway, he says, listen to this. He gives you the eights how to do it. He says, Rak toiv l'spal v'boiker. He says, the best thing is, in the morning, right away to go daven, teichav achar medosim mitosim. Right after you wake up, the earliest that you could, okay? He's addressing a major thing because, again, this is when a person tries to work on himself. He starts learning halacha. And he ends up davening later because he knows about this halacha. Reb Nachman was talking mamash to this. He says, Toivlis, Spal, Vaboiker, try to daven in the morning, Teichav, Achar, Medosim, Metosim, right when you wake up, try to go daven. He says, Im Efsher, Makal, Lift Noise, Efsher. If you're able to go to the bathroom right away, no problem, good. If Im love, he says, but if not, you Spal, Koch, and just daven. He says, go daven. He says, anyway. He says, and even if, you're not sure, he says, don't worry about that. He says, you go down right away. Okay? Tremendous CHIZZUK. Continuing. Because, I'm going to give it in the summary, we'll speak out a little bit. Continuing. He says, Gamein Tzrich in the Harach Basic Kise. He says, also, you don't have to spend extra time in the bathroom before, before davening. Ki Mazik Ma'oy the Riyas Hagiv, because it's it can be harmful for a person's health. He says many sicknesses come from it, especially in our types of bathrooms. He says where basically if a person spends extra time in the bathroom, he says, especially in our types of bathrooms, it can actually cause a lot of harm. Continuing, yeah? He says, he's saying that basically you can get what's called mariden hemorrhoids. Okay? Let's continue. He says, he says that's why listen, he's putting important words. He says you have to be very careful not to spend extra time in the basic kisa. Continuing. He says the ein lechapes acher chimris in Morish Chor B'zeh. He's telling you don't look for chimris and Morish Chor B'zeh. Kiloi never klol b'deres halom. He's telling us, he's giving us tremendous. This is the eitzah for the Yitzhahara. Don't look for chumras. A person tries to look for chumras. Sometimes it's good, but in this area, he says, don't look for chumras. Because it's going to bring you to the wrong type of chumras. And he says, and he says, in the previous generations, they never spoke about this at all. Anyway, now Reb Nosson is saying about Reb Nachman, he himself, he's saying, Hoyagam ken bezois hatoas mikoidim. Reb Nosson is saying that Reb Nachman would say about himself that he himself, as he was, growing, growing up and working on his avodas Hashem, he made this mistake. And he used to do tremendous type of things to make sure that his a gift naki before davening. Okay, and until he almost came to a sakana. And also he didn't get saved from these sicknesses that he got from spending all the extra time to have a gift naki before davening. Yeah. Continuing, now he says, "Va'ata hi yedeya," and he says now he knows, and this Reb Nachman would say, and he would say, "Shakol shigon chalil leval zman yachar al zeh." He says that all this extra time in the bathroom to try to have a gift naki, he says this is big mistake, and you're wasting precious time. Continuing. He says, "Ve'emes," he says, and the truth is, "Ef sheb'shem oifen she'agiv noki legamra." He says, and the truth is, he says, it's not even possible to have a truly gift noki. It means, nothing inside. Continuing, lo yishar b'tzarchik klem, to have nothing inside, before davening. He says, "Ki aloy afili mishim is ana mishabbos l'shabbos," because he says, even if somebody fasts, this is what he's telling you, from a Shabbos to Shabbos. Who fasts from Shabbos to Shabbos? Who? If he's telling you about it, that means we'll soon see. He knows what it means to fast. Continuing. He tzarech linkov gam l'soifa shviyah. It says even if somebody fasts from Shabbos to Shabbos, he's telling you that even the end of the week, he's still going to have to, go to the bathroom because there's something left inside. Continuing. Even though he didn't eat many days prior. Continuing. Because it has to be that something is left over in the body. Continuing. And he says, and he says, this is a very big thing, by him, that they speak about this Indian. Because what can come out from this is a very, very big thing, which is so that people should not waste time and waste precious time and spend more time in the bathroom trying to have a gift noki when he's telling you that's not what halacha meant. Continuing. Now he says, even if sometimes even if sometimes a person has to spend more time in the bathroom, that's what he says. He says, he says, better go out, and then come back if you have to, then just to sit there. Okay, that's the end of Lamed. Now, let me give a little summary because this is a very important one. Why? Because he told us in Sichos around 29 to go learn Shulchan Aruch. He says to learn Arbe Chelka Shulchan Aruch, right? Start from the beginning, go all the ways. Now, if anybody learns Shulchan Aruch, you learn the beginning, if you only learn Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, which I recently went over this part, Kitzur Shulchan Aruch tells you that you have to make sure, before you daven, you have to have a gift noki. He gives you eitzes. Okay. Nachman comes, he's telling us, you have to learn all the commentaries. And he's telling you that, there is areas to be makel in this area. So he's telling you how to do it. He's saying, look, you have to follow the din. There's a time to be, in different areas, as we'll soon see. Rabbi Nachman is all about Chasidus, about the Fnimishir to din. But when it comes to certain things, you have to know, you need guidance. Okay? He's telling us that the best advice is in the morning, you go to the bathroom and then you right away go daven. For a person, I myself, and I know many people, we're caught into this. We have to take our time and coffee and this and that. Listen, coffee is a separate parsha. But as far as thinking that you need to have the gift noki, Rav Nachman is saying it's not the proper way. The proper way is you have to go to the bathroom, you go. But you don't spend extra time there. It could be funny what I'm talking about. This is, Rav Nachman says in the end, this was such a big thing by him to speak about it. Okay, I'm going to stop over here. Maybe we'll take the, CHIZZUK in this Sichos Haran the way we need to. And let's remember, this is all Torah. This is Torah. This mamash, this halacha. It's very important. Okay, I'll stop over here.